Breaking news, a long legal battle is over. Nebraska troopers and the state have reached an agreement.
Governor Pillen announced today that the state will be paying $19 million to settle a federal lawsuit filed back in 2011. More than 400 current and former NSP troopers accused Nebraska lawmakers of violating their labor contract. They claim that they were forced to increase contributions to their pensions beyond what they had agreed to when they started working for NSP. Nebraska's Attorney General Mike Hilger says reaching a settlement means that the state is avoiding a potentially costly trial.